Welcome back, freaks and geeks. The rain has started, and we're sitting here in a dreary gas station feeling all alone. Well, welcome back to my continuation of the pressure tank drive in the rain finally from Bratislava to Bremen, Germany. We are gassed up. I decided to rest because I've got an ETA of 11 hours. I'll make it in one shot. I didn't want to stop again. I have to now remember to use my headlights, otherwise I will get a ticket. So lights on, wipers on. Let's get this show on the road. Parking brake off, that would be important too. Everybody coming? It's thundering. There's trucks coming out of the fog in the distance. Trucks and buses. Let's get a roll on. Any more? Nope. So this should be a nice long drive in the grimiest of weather. Can't see more than what looks to be 50 feet in front of me. It's just the way we like it in rain like this. And I'm sure all the truckers out there today, out here in the Northeast where it's raining, has been raining all day, this is probably what you've been seeing. And you'll have maniacs like that driving way too fast for the conditions. That, nothing pisses a trucker off than something like that. So let me move over. It looks like an exit is coming up that might drop me off. In this weather, I may not have the room to maneuver or the time. Like I did that last time in the previous video. I let a guy swing by me on my left while I squeaked by on the right in this very overpass. Not this specific overpass, but one that looks exactly like that. So I believe we are in Czechoslovakia right now. I have to watch out for also speed cameras. Sorry, did I say Czechoslovakia? You see, I do make that mistake. What I mean is Czech Republic. We already went through Slovakia. So there you go. Yes, they have sneaky speed cameras that sometimes you can't see. They're not obvious like the German ones, which are on those huge white towers. And we are just rolling on into Prague, it looks like. So we probably have to prepare to slow down. It looks like it's running right through the city. I did not expect that, and I am committing all the cardinal sins of trucking and driving, which is braking in the middle of turns. I think I demonstrated that clearly in my manic drive video, that you shouldn't do that. It causes trouble, but I'm not going fast enough to really die. The lightning effects are quite cool. I'm just rolling on in. I have to go straight. I don't think anybody's going to bother challenging me in there. So it's 9 in the evening, so we are driving in the rain. It's dark, dreary night. And because I've set it to 100% probability, we'll be having this rain throughout the whole drive. So just prepare to feel damp. It's kind of nice. I have to admit, I do like the rain. Not particularly in this game, but in real life. I do like driving in it sometimes. It's very nice, calming. Lets you take a slow drive through the city. Everything gets washed out. Especially here in New York City, where the city could always use a good cleaning at all times, at any time. The rain does a great job of washing away all the dirt, the blood, the bodily fluids, and anything else. Wash away the despair too. Dresden. Alright. That was a little... Oh, Prague. Praha ending. So there you go. That was our little sojourn through Prague, Czech Republic, on our way to Germany towards Dresden. In our DAF XF Euro 6 brand new truck, brand new to Euro Truck Update 1.14. We've been having a lot of fun. I think the last 4 or 5 drives I've done is with this big bad Dutch truck, the Dutch DAF. I won't embarrass myself with trying to pronounce what DAF stands for. It is some Dutch acronym, but all you need to know is that yes, those madmen in orange, the Flying Dutchmen, make this, and this particular version is a cool version compared to the previous the previous staff, which is the normal XF. And I won't go into that. Watch my previous video. I already made a lot of fun of the old truck. But this one, it's quirky, it's got a personality. It's got an interesting wooden interior. It's got 3 wiper blades, which no other truck in the game has, so it's got that going for it. And we've got cameras coming up. I'm glad I saw that sign because I was kind of looking at that car going by me. That dropped down. Oh, keep speeding up. This is where you turn the cruise control on and let it chill. Okay, it's some kind of bridge. I don't know. See? Oh, these have those tiny cameras up there. Okay, I think we're past it. Oh, I see. They wanted us to slow up going into the tunnel. No problem. It's also cool how the fog rolls into the tunnel. I'm not sure, is that realistic? Does fog out on the road come into a long tunnel like this? Maybe it does. But either way, even if it doesn't, it's a really cool effect. Oh, no cameras. Usually when you approach a bridge like this, some kind of elevated thing, they like to hit you up with the cameras, but this time it specifically said no cameras. Okay. We can deal with that. We're going 124 kilometers an hour. We are approaching some kind of rest area. I think we just entered border control, and I just bypassed border control. I believe we have just entered Alemania. Yep, Berlin, Leipzig. There's some tight-looking turns coming up we should prepare for. Okay, almost flipped over. Almost flipped over. Judicious use of the retarder kind of saved me there. Yeah, that was an interesting turn. Most highways don't have turns that sharp. So this game, you know, not only does it compress time, compress distance, but it compresses turning radius, or the radius of turns. And that's not a good thing. That's why, even though these trucks, they're not going that fast, they cap out at 50 miles an hour. In this game, you can't make all turns at 50 miles an hour or 90 kph, which is kind of strange. I mean, you see the trucks on the highways, they're not that bad. They're fairly maneuverable. So this little guy snuck under me on my right side. It's called undertaking, I think. They're not supposed to do that, but the bastard did. And it's in the rain. He's a punk. Late at night. Boop, boop. Oh, there's another truck up there. Should I just stay in the right lane? Yeah, I got another exit coming up here. Oh, we are going local road to Leipzig. Ho ho. The lightning and thunder effects are very nice. So is the rain sounds. But there are mods out there that can improve these sounds and the quality of the graphics of the raindrops and such as they pitter patter and fall. Sorry, I had to stop a little. I got closer to that thing than I thought I would be. So I've never been able to tell whether or not they, you know, braking distances and other things are affected by the rain in this game. I mean, they are definitely affected by the weight of your trailer. That I've seen. But I've never really been able to determine if the rain makes much of a difference, if you go slipping and sliding more often or not. Okay, so it looks like we're headed towards Leipzig. Looks like we'll be riding backseat to this big Stokes trailer for a while. What is he driving? Can't tell. Is that a man? All clear. Let's make this turn wide. We do have the extra long trailer. Oh, you know what I should do? Let's take a quick look Excuse the ambient sounds that I might be making. Yep. So, what I should be doing is turning my front and roof auxiliaries on. And now let's take a look. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's how it should be. Nice. Does it get brighter? Do things get brighter? I don't know. But yes. Now I've got all my lights on. I spent so much money on them. Over $8,000 or $9,000 getting all these lights installed, which is quite a bit of money just for a bunch of lights. But that's all good. Come on, baby. You can get up that hill. You can do it. 510 horsepower, 2,500 Newton meter of torque. I was about to combine everything. I was about to say Newton meter foot-pounds of torque, but that's kind of redundant. But yes, it's getting there. 71, that other guy just blew me away. There's another dreary gas station in the rain. A one car parked there. Was that him? Did he already go in and park for rest? Interesting. No, he was a Stokes trailer. It wasn't that. But yeah, what have we got going on here? Let's drive with the high beams on so we can see ahead. Just in case anything sneaky is coming up on us. Being that it's... Oh, there he is. I've caught up to him already. Being that it's late at night, it's most likely, of course, I'm coming up on a curve right when I need to keep up my momentum for a pass. And I'm going for it. I didn't see any headlights on that side, so I think I'm good. That's one good thing about the nighttime driving is you'll see the little headlights ahead of time, so you'll know. There you go, Stokes man. Blew by you. Big streak of lightning there. But yeah, nice little drive through the country road in the middle of the night in the rain. All I need to do now is see some chupacabra and any other, maybe who's the German Santa Claus guy, that evil demon guy? Crumpet or something? Krampus. The Krampus. It's like, you've been a naughty, naughty boy. And that was a terrible British accent imitating something that should have been German. So that's why I don't try to do accents in my videos. Other than my Texas accent, which also makes no sense, doesn't sound like shit. But there you go. That's what I limit myself to. So I limit your suffering. I mean, it must be suffering enough watching a guy driving in fake rain, a fake truck. Oops, sorry buddy. Must have blinded the crap out of you. Scania. Yeah, chugging along. Oh, it's dark out there. I love the silhouettes. Very creepy looking out there. The hills, the tops of the pine trees. Very Nosferatu-like. Or scenery for Nosferatu to strike. We're estimating another 7 hours before we arrive in Bremen, all the way up north in the northern part of Germany. To my right are either fields or a lake. I can't tell what that is. I'm not going to look. See, that's why it's probably fallow fields. I'm looking at those ripples and they kind of look like waves on a lake, little wind-swept waves on a lake. Coming up on a truck carrying dynamite or some other kind of explosives. Of course, coming up again on a blind curve right when I need to be keeping up my speed. It's always a case. I find it to always be the case, and even in real life, that right when you need to make a pass, there's either somebody coming on your left side or somebody coming on the other way, or it's just not a good situation to make the pass. That's every time, without fail. But you could be on a wide open stretch, you don't need to pass, and you'll never have the opportunity. But when you need to do it, circumstances just don't line up every single time. It used to happen to me with my cruise control. You know, you're going down, you're cruising, chilling. Suddenly a car is entering onto the highway from the right, so you got to move over to the left. You can't, because right at that moment, of course, there's a fool passing you on your left. So you gotta, start making adjustments to your cruise control. You have to brake, you gotta turn it off. It's just every single time without fail. At least for me. I don't know about the rest of you out there, but that's my luck. I don't know how that works, but that's what happens. Here's another truck. I probably should have checked the map to see where the GPS wanted me to go, because this is a very long stretch of road, of local road. But it fits with this weather, right? This rain. Driving along on the local roads. Alright, buddy. I don't know what kind of truck this is. I need a little bit more space to see what's happening out there. It's an Iveco. I'm gonna smash him if another car is coming this way. Yeah, that was quite a dumb move by me. My left side A-pillar pretty much blocked everything on that oncoming lane. I was just blindly going, hoping that nothing would come along. I know the Iveco guy would have gotten a chuckle if something had happened to me. Considering the state of the truck that they drive, they have to find joy where they can. And if it's in the despair of others, I think they will find that joy. They will eke it out. Every little drop of vicarious joy from the sufferings of others. Man, I shouldn't disparage the Ivecos and their drivers as such. That's a little harsh, no? It's not their fault that they drive such shite. Okay, headed towards Magdeburg. Alright, 5.5 hours to go. Should be able to do it in one shot. Oh, look at that. Some leaves and flowers on the ground. Next rest stop in 6 hours. I'm an hour ahead, and it should be able to easily beat that. Even on these local roads, for the most part, the passing has been easy. We haven't run into too much trouble on that. Hopefully we don't run into trouble as in crashing and burning. Actually, I wonder if I've put my careerist achievement in jeopardy because of the back and forths I've been doing with the autosaves due to that little manic drive and some other things. I had to actually go back to an autosave for the previous video to get the paint job, the old paint job I had. So I hope the game understands that I've just been bouncing back and forth and I haven't actually completed a job. This is the first job I'm actually completing since doing the Yeti mic test, that manic drive, and the one time loading the game just to get the old paint job. I wanted to grab it from the actual game. I didn't want to try to load up one of the old videos and splice out a section that had the truck and the old paint job. And also what deterred me was I'm just having a real hard time manipulating the timeline in Final Cut. I think Vegas does a much better job of how you can manipulate items in your timeline on the application versus what Final Cut does. Final Cut, I was trying to put a transition in and it was killing me. It's crazy. And I used to love iMovie HD, and that's probably why I like Vegas. Vegas is more old school in many ways. I mean, just the way the interface is. I mean, if you look at the interface, Vegas looks like a program out of 1995. And this is the version I use is Vegas 12, which I think is maybe only 2 or 3 years old, maybe 3. Yeah, so it looks like a program written in 1995, and it maybe for Final Cut experts, it probably even behaves like a program built in 1985 or 1995. But for me, it's just comfortable. I don't know. But other than that, it was kind of nice finally getting my Hackintosh up and running. That was a little dangerous. I was tapping brakes on a sharp curve there. Surprised I didn't slide out. Yes, so for anybody who doesn't know, a Hackintosh is basically the name of a Macintosh computer. It's basically when you install the Apple OS, Mac OS X, or OS 10. What do they call it? OS 10? well, basically when you install that, and this in this case the newest version Yosemite, onto generic Intel hardware, because Macintosh is really nothing but Intel hardware anyway. It's just a little fancier. But yeah, so you do that. It can be a little bit of a challenge getting everything together. There's a nice little jug handle you have to use. I guess the highway runs elevated over the road, so if you miss this, there's no other way to get in. But yes, sorry for the squeaking chair there. But yeah, basically it lets you run Mac OS on generic Intel hardware, which it's just a fun project. I mean, if you look at it as a project just to save money on a true Macintosh, like a Mac Pro, especially because those can run upwards of $3,000, $4,000. You know, I mean, that's one way to look at it, but you might frustrate yourself because it's different. Obviously, it's just not meant to be such a thing, and there are tons and tons of resources online to help you get it together, but it takes patience. It's a little, you know, a lot of tweaking, but it's fun. It's a challenge, and when you finish, it's, you know, you feel good, just like anything when you've put some hard work into something and actually complete successfully. So yeah, so I was able to finally get my Yosemite Hackintosh up and running, which is also a 6-core Xeon workstation class setup, and I'll be running my hand braking, and well, again, the verdict is still out on what I want to do about video editing, so you know, I'll be taking more tutorials on Final Cut, just to, I think it's good to have both applications under your belt, right? Final Cut and Vegas. And I'm going to just stick with that. I'm not going to collect video editing skills for no reason, like adding in Premiere Pro and After Effects. Maybe further down the line if I continue to make these videos. So far I've been having a lot of fun. It's been a lot more engaging and entertaining than I expected it to be. Okay. I've determined that the rain does make a difference. I don't know if you guys noticed that. I almost slid off the road there. I almost lost the trailer. So yes, heavy trailer, heavy rain, brake too hard, turn too hard, you'll come to flipping or losing it. So there you go. Now I know, and I've driven the long trailers in the dry, on the dry roads, and I don't think I've ever had something like that happen with this DAF. I mean, the DAF also, I've explained before, the handling is not up there, not up to par with the Volvos, but it's yeah, so but that was a little extreme. I mean, I wasn't really even going that fast. Oh, see, of course, look at that. I need to go to the left because this exit's coming, and there's 2 cars coming. There's one bastard BMW, of course. That's another thing, and I will freely disparage BMW drivers because everybody knows they got a reputation. They're kind of morons. They think they got the ultimate driving machine. I guess what they confuse is just because you have the ultimate driving machine does not make you the ultimate driver. So there you go. Very simple. Fantasy and fact. All you guys got to do, BMW drivers, is distinguish that one little thing, and people will stop hating you. So there's my quick rant on Beamer drivers. We have okay, got too many buttons going on. I got confused there. We had a speed camera I had to slow down for, but I had the retarder on, then I actually hit the brakes, and I trying to turn off the retarder, and yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on. High beams are on. I'm blinding this guy driving what looks to be a Benz wagon. The DAF, more and more the DAF is kind of bobbing and weaving again. Must be this rain. Yeah. It's interesting. It's getting slowly getting dark outside. I'm not sure what that guy just did. He stopped in the middle of the highway to make that right. I think I've seen people do that in real life too. But yeah. You know, it's okay, you know, you want to do that, you need to slow down. It's fine, but you know, you gotta be aware of your surroundings. If there's a giant truck behind you, guess what? Don't do shit like that. It's not healthy for anybody. Alright. Hamburg, Kiel. So those are all the big northern cities, right? Or are they? Is Hamburg up north or is Hanover up north? Again, I'm sorry if I'm forgetting some of my... Oh, sliding again. Wow. Okay, so this is... The retarder seems to be causing the slides. I thought it would cause less sliding around, but I'm feeling it's the retarder that's causing the slides. So let's avoid it the next few turns. We'll just tap the brakes. Try to keep the sucker under control. Also, I gotta watch my speed. I think I'm hitting these turns a little faster. I'm not paying as much attention to my speed as I was before on the dry roads. I don't know what's distracting me right now. So we got another 2 hours to make this delivery. Here's another dreary gas station with a dreary green BMW parked in there. It's morning time. It's morning time. What's that song? That is... Oh, that stupid song by that laughing my asses off guys. Those two dorks. Something about Miami. Yeah. That party time. Key and Peele have a really funny skit on those guys where... Yeah, wasn't it the one that's just like non-stop partying and they're begging for it to stop? Is that radar control? Yep. So there's some camera coming up, which is a good thing. There's curves coming up, so I should slow it up. I'll hit the cruise control. Let's get through these curves. There's an exit coming. There's a big tank of what looks like orange juice. But yeah, back to Key and Peele. Oh, look at that. That's a sneaky camera. It's right up against that overpass, so we might kind of miss it and think it's part of the overpass structure. Oh, apparently this exit I have to take too. Bremen and Groingen or something that I call Groingen. It's this little city way up north in the Netherlands, and probably one of the rarest destinations for anybody. It'd be kind of cool to actually start a profile that starts up there. I'm sure it's a very rare thing, people calling that Groingen place home. But the good thing about that joint is the drive up there is gorgeous. It's over, I guess, those Dutch canals and just where the North Sea is coming in, or whatever the big body of water is up there against the north coast of the Netherlands. It's really pretty. There are these long causeway bridges that you keep driving over. It's very well done scenery, just like a lot of the other spots here, but it's different, right? I mean, 90% of your driving, you're looking at these back roads, these forests, some farms, agricultural stuff. You're not going coastal very often. Coastal parts, you get that beautiful... They did a great job with the White Cliffs of Dover and things like that. And so my game just kicked me out, as it sometimes does. So you might see a hitch on the video. Yeah, so they did a great job with the White Cliffs of Dover. It looks cool when you drive by them. And I think you see them when you come out of the Channel Tunnel and stuff like that. This is very risky, especially because it's getting on in the day. Well, it's not really. It was 5 in the morning. Shouldn't be too many people out on the road. Yeah, I've strung together quite a few passes. I mean, this entire drive, 95% of this drive was on these one-lane roads. I bet you it didn't have to be. So this is probably something where you need to check the GPS and say, what the hell are you doing, GPS? There's a highway right next to these damn roads, so let's get on it. But the positive thing to that, it added to the ambience, I think. This little 2-lane drive to this rain. So I can match it up with what's going on in real life. And yeah, well, it's been a nice drive. And that little hitch back there that I mentioned. So sometimes, I don't know what it is. I get kicked out of this game. It doesn't happen in other games. It's only ETS2 where it kicks me back to the desktop. And then you have to Alt-Tab really quick to get back into the game. And it comes back in full screen. It doesn't hurt anything. The game seems to weirdly pause itself in state, and then it just continues on. So even if you were driving fast and that happened, you wouldn't be crashing into anything. So so yeah, so that goes on, and but because Bandicam only records full size video, wow, it stops recording. So what that translates into is a weird little hitch in the video if I'm too slow alt tabbing back into the game. But honestly though, it hasn't happened in a while. I think in most of my videos that has not been a problem, and it probably does it more if you leave applications running in the background. Right now the only thing I have running obviously is Bandicam and Audacity. When I was playing this game normally without doing these videos, I would have everything running, my browsers, my whatever, and a lot of things going on, and it must have been one of those that was kicking the focus. What I learned though for Bandicam and the game in general is if you got to kill all those processes, so nothing's grabbing attention. So if you want a smooth recording, you'd need to just make sure these are the only things running on the machine. Okay, so I kind of overslowed there. I've been scared off by some of the little fishtailing slides I've had. And since we're so close to the end of this journey finally that I don't want a screw up. Man, more hitches. I think the RAM is built up or something. Because I'm getting a lot of hitches in this game. They were there in the previous video. They just showed up now. This is going to be trouble. Okay, I thought I'd go sliding again, but I didn't. Alright, let's clear that. So we're in the city, so we're ready to make this delivery. Excellent. Where are we going? It looks like Popsed. Popsed's kind of tough to deliver to. If you don't make that, because there's no room to maneuver the truck back. So if you don't make that first swing properly, you pretty much screw yourself over, and it can get dangerous. And by dangerous, I mean extremely time consuming. And if I do screw it up, I don't think I'm gonna make you guys suffer through me trying to fix the parking. I'm just going to you'll see a pretty transition, and next thing you know, it's magically parked. That's what'll happen. So this bad boy is making a right. I have 2 hours before I have to rest. Oh, also the time dilation decreases when you're in a city. So when you're driving down the highway, I believe 6 seconds of real time is 1 minute of game time. When you're in a city, that changes. It almost goes to 1-to-1, I think, which kind of makes sense. So what that ends up doing is, if you're very close to having to sleep, it saves you from getting tickets, because you're just waiting at a red light. That's kind of unfair. Half an hour. If it was going that other way, you'd lose 15-20 minutes just sitting here in game time, which would make no sense. It's like you're the Flash or something. But here whoa, I wasn't even watching that guy. I did not think somebody would do that. But they did, because they be punks. These guys are jammed up here. Gotta make sure my trailer clears them. I did, with about 2 feet to spare. I'll take this wide. Sometimes they vary it. I think I've seen some Popsed here where there's a bunch of barrels here where you gotta watch out for the barrels. So here, gotta kind of line it up. I think I did okay. For the most part, yeah, I'm okay. Just let it go in. Yeah. Oh yeah, that's in. In like Flint, smooth as can be. Boom, with the big thunder. Thor is angry. So we're good. Let's unhitch. Let's see how we did. Oh yeah, I got careers. 1 of 5. So what does that mean? That means I screwed myself up, because I think I had about 2 or 3 of those. Oh well. But I hope you guys enjoyed a nice rainy drive. I'm trying to do a radio voice. I can't. I'm no DJ, but it was a nice drive in the rain. We completed it. No problems. Excellent. Enjoy the rest of the weekend, folks. Adios.